Thank you very much. We all have friends, we all have people out there who energize us and excite us. And, for me, that's been, one of the challenges of this quarantine is that my good friend Brett Kopf, who's about to speak for us, I'm not able to see him as much. I'm not able to win championships with him as much. And that's disappointing for me. We play football together. I brought my champion mug. I had to relocate to the Jewish Experience because my internet died, but I had a drink in here. I was enjoying myself. I had to pour it out. But, we've been blessed to, I've been blessed to get to know Brett over the last, year or so, and just his energy, his excitement, and to have him involved in our programs. He has spoken for us to our young professionals. And again, he led me to the promised land, to a championship after years of trying in football. And our basketball season, which got cut short, we were a little slow start, but we were on our way. So it's just a real honor. I don't want to take any of his time, but I know I've been so blessed, again, just to be able to learn from Brett and also to have him around and have him involved. And it's been very special for me personally. And one of my highlights for today is I get to see him right there on the screen. So without further ado, thank you so much, Brett.
Thanks, Danny. Hi, everyone. It's so nice to meet you. My name is Brett Kopf, and I was asked to share my entire life story in 7 minutes and also tell you about how the Jewish experience has impacted me. So I talk very fast, and I have a lot of energy. At least I thought I had a lot of energy until I heard Charlie. He has a lot of energy, so hopefully I can match it. So listen close. Starting with my story. So in 5th grade, I was diagnosed with a slew of learning disabilities and basically spent the 2 decades of my childhood feeling stupid, which I now know I'm not. But growing up like that, it was very difficult for me. And by the time I got to college, I had this fork in the road and I had to decide what I wanted to do with my life. And one option was to drop out of school and do who knows what. And the second option was to try to build something that helps every kid in the country so that they don't feel like I did. Like, I knew that there was children in this country that have similar learning disabilities that struggle with those problems, and I never wanted them to feel the way I did. And so I started my first company in 2009, and it's called Remind.com. If any of you have kids either in school or that have been in school in the last few years, there's a reasonable chance that they have used it. Remind is a communication platform that connects teachers, students, and parents in a really safe and easy way. And we've been very fortunate that it's grown immensely. We have over 30 million active teachers, students, and parents using it. More than 70% of teachers in the United States use the product. And a large majority of those are teachers in the lowest income school districts in the country. And those teachers and students and parents are sending over 100 million messages a day right now. So once COVID hit, 100 million kids basically didn't go to school anymore. And Remind is one of the core threads that they use to stay connected. I've also personally raised over $60 million in venture capital funding, and Forbes actually just did a write-up on us yesterday, if you want to check that out. So we've been very fortunate to have some wonderful success, and we're very humbled by that. And one question that we often get, and I often get when I give talks, I actually got this question when I gave a talk to some of the younger professionals at JewPro. They asked me, how did Remind become so successful? And I've reflected on that question a lot. And one of our board members and investors, his name is John Doerr. He's considered to be one of the greatest in venture capitalists of all times. He was the first check in Google and the first check in Amazon. So if you do the math on that, he sat me down, this was 5 or 6 years ago, and he said the following to me. He said, Brett, culture eats strategy for breakfast. And at the time, I was young and naive, and I heard that, and I was like, baloney, what does that mean? I don't really believe in it. But after reflecting on it and thinking about what the word culture means, I believe that it is a set of shared value systems that help you make decisions in life, and in this case, in my company. And so my brother and I, he's my co-founder at my last and current company. I should say my brother first, then my co-founder. We have a set of shared value systems for us that come down to working extremely hard, caring deeply about our customers, refusing to give up, and morally doing what's right, even when it's hard. And if I reflect even farther back into my childhood and say, well, where do those value systems come from? I believe that my brother and I are products of our environment. And our environment growing up encapsulated three things. One, my mom and my dad. Two, my best friends from Camp Shai, which is a Jewish camp, a sleepaway camp in Lake Delton, Wisconsin. And the third one is Solomon Schechter. I went to school, kindergarten through 8th grade, where I grew up in Skokie, Illinois. And so whether it's starting a company in the 2008 financial crisis or in the crisis that we're experiencing now, COVID, I believe very deeply in the value systems that we have. And I believe that they're so strong that no matter what, we will find a way to be successful. And I know that our strategy is going to change, people will change, the world is going to change, but our value systems will persist. And those value systems are why I'm so involved with the Jewish experience. So I want to transition and explain that to you. So I haven't had a Jewish connection since high school. I went to a Jewish school, kindergarten through 8th grade, then public school. And after that, it kind of went bye-bye. I was living in San Francisco for 9 years, and I always wanted one, but I didn't have it. And I moved to San Francisco a year ago. And by luck, I found the Jewish experience. Now, when I say the Jewish experience, I think an organization is really a subset of the human beings who run it. And Danny just was very polite and introduced me, but I somehow found Danny, or Danny found me. And he invited us to a Shabbos dinner. And we've become friends ever since then. And we go on well, this is pre-COVID, I should say, but we get coffee or lunch once a month. The weekly football, I don't think I necessarily led him to the promised land for football, but we did win, which was really fun. We play weekly football together. I'm on the basketball team every week. I come to the Shabbos dinner. So I'm pretty actively involved in a deep and broad way. And the funny part is Danny, or you might know him as Rabbi Wolf, but to me it's Danny. He's Orthodox. I'm not. But we're able to have amazing conversations, and I've been able to ask him a lot of questions about Judaism and identity that I've wanted to know for a long time. And one of the reasons I'm okay doing that is because he's a very safe, non-judgmental person who knows the facts. And he's not trying to push any agenda on me. He's just a friend sharing what he knows in the world. And for me, the people of the Jewish experience have really helped build this amazing community for me, because there is a shared set of value systems. And so there's one thing I want to leave you on a very personal note, but I feel like it's relevant. And I'm sorry if you hear my dog barking in the background. I have obviously worked from home like the rest of you. My wife and I moved here 1 year ago, not knowing anyone other than my brother and his wife. And on one hand, it's been great because I started my second company and that's doing really well. And we've moved to this beautiful new place and started our next chapter. But it's also been one of the hardest years of our lives because we've been trying to start a family and we've had 2 miscarriages. And for anyone on the phone who's either been through that or knows someone or who's had family that have been through that, it is brutal. It is one of the hardest things that we've ever been through emotionally. And when that happened, Danny was one of the first people to call. He offered to bring food over, and he even offered to connect me to a local doctor who's this amazing fertility specialist. And I'm relatively technically savvy, and I could very easily start Googling and searching for doctors. But when you go through something so emotionally tolling like that, which I'm sure people have been through similar difficult experiences, when there's someone that you know who cares about you and is just there to actively listen versus prescribe advice and just be there, it really meant a lot. And so to close the loop on my life story and the Jewish experience, the people and the value systems of the Jewish experience have become a very important part of my life. And I expect them to be, because we're making Denver home for the rest of my life. So I appreciate you having me. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope I stayed under my 7 minutes, but it was very nice to meet you all. Thank you.
Amazing. Thank you so much, Brett, and many blessings for wonderful things in the future. Thank you.